to NNPC?
Mr. Owe here in Akure, good morning to you, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I'm talking about my contribution is regarding what the former president, Atiku Abubakar, was said to.
Former vice president.
It might sound good, but you see, the reason why we have that 4 years in the Constitution and in other parts of the world where we have it is that within 4 years, you can do enough damage or you can do enough good that will give the citizens the impression that, okay, let this person continue. For 6 years, continuous damage will be too much. So, in the issue of 4 years, it's not as if 8 years that is in the Constitution is automatic. No, it means that after 4 years, then the citizen can vote for you again and say, okay, continue. Then you have 8 years. And if that 8 years is good enough, you can see what happened in Lagos State when President Buhari was up. People can now say, okay, that same party, let them continue. But let me quickly put it this way. Our problem in this country is not really about leadership. It's systemic. It's the system of government. We talk about regionalism. People are afraid of it. Okay, you have something that worked before independence when Chief Obafemi Awolowo was the premier of Western region. We knew what happened. So the regionalism for the people who are against it does not mean that all your state will be cancelled or whatever. What it means is that even the present states are there, can still be there. But it means that every region will be able to develop on its own. Everybody will not depend on oil. Going to Abuja, cap in hand, to go and beg for, so which makes states lazy. It makes politicians lazy.
Yeah.
It makes people not to look back at their back door. Ekiti State has enough, more than enough resources. There's no state in this country that hasn't got resources, but because we have this wrong federal system of government that does not even comparable with any other state, where do you want to compare it with? When everything was centralized based on the coup, after the coup, 1963, they introduced Decree 34, which brought all the powers from different parts of the country to the center. That is why we are where we are today. Let every state, even United States, still like that. Okay, the President Tinubu government now is trying to push for state police, which is the solution to our insecurity problem. Some people are still saying, the politician will use it, would not rather be safe and let the politician use it to rig elections than farmers not being able to go to their farms to produce food so that the people can feed, so that our economy will be fixed. Because if we produce enough in this country and we export and we import less, then the value of Naira will improve. Then the prices of products, food, everything will come down. It's simple economy. You cannot corner economic theory. You cannot double cross. There is a procedure of doing things, of running a country, of running a country, even before the colonial regime. Even when we are still using an ownership system, these are the way things are. It's production.
Thank you very much, Mr. Owoye. Really appreciate your call. Thank you very much, Mr. Owoye. Thank you very much for your call and give us quite a an overview of different aspects of the situation. Yes. Exactly. So I don't know. I haven't heard too many people align with Atiku Abubakar on his proposal. It's there. We can't say we have heard all of the views, but it's a proposal out there. But people, I think just about everyone this morning has called in, and the bottom line is that you don't really need 6 years.
And Uncle Yori, shockingly too, when leadership is perceived not to be doing well, what do you hear? Wait for another 4 years.
Yes.
The legitimate instrument you have is to vote. So protest has been demobilized. Complaints have been thrown under the bus. You see, so how are we now going to move forward as a nation? I mean, it's something of concern to us. But I keep saying also that it won't be a bad idea if those in the National Assembly and the houses of assembly in the state sit down, look at our laws, and make a decision that we want to develop.
Let me see if we can get Callistus this time. Good morning, Callistus from Abuja.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I want to disagree with some of the earlier callers that education is not important. Education is very, very important for whoever is going to lead us. Then secondly, the Vice President's proposal of 6 years single tenure, I think it is not really important whether a single tenure or double tenure for 4 years. You see, the problem we have is that we need to have a roadmap for all sectors of our economy. When we have a roadmap, any president that comes, any leader that comes, whether from local government to state to federal level, you follow the roadmap no matter the party. But of all this, the most important thing is that leadership recruitment process is very, very important. Somebody said leadership is not a problem. No, I don't agree at all. Leadership is the major problem. Leadership recruitment process is the major problem. If we don't recruit leaders in the proper way, we can never have good leaders. Look at the type of elections we are having. With such elections, even you have a single tenure of 6 years, you have a double tenure of 4 years, there's nothing will happen. No, you cannot have the leaders that we deserve. If we have the leaders that we deserve, if the people elect our leaders, when they don't do well, whether it's 4 years, whether it's 6 years, we'll vote them out. Both from the local government level, the state level, and the federal level, anybody that doesn't do well, we'll vote the person out.
Yes.
That is the only time we're going to get good leaders. That's the only time we're going to get a good Nigeria. That's the only time we're going to have a good economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Callistus, especially for, trying again after it dropped originally. The whole idea of between 4 years with the option of a further 4 years, and then right side by side with it, Atiku's idea that one single 6-year term. As has been pointed out, there's more to it than that. Although it's good in theory, but maybe if we were to ask ourselves the question, I don't know that it has happened in Nigeria where a person has served for. We're complaining about the quality of leadership. So which president served a single 4-year term and was voted out at the end of that single 4-year term?
Except for, it's controversial, Goodluck Jonathan served part of,
exactly,
but his main second term, he couldn't return.
Yes, he couldn't.
Yar'Adua also could not go the long
exactly.
But the point we are making is...
So these were not voted out. They were circumstances.
Uncle Yori, problem was coming to Egypt. And in Genesis chapter 41, Pharaoh heard about Joseph and invited him to the palace. And the guy gave a beautiful roadmap. And the king made him the prime minister. And he implemented it to the letter. He saved for the nation grains like sand and prevented the storm that was coming. So it's about action. Look at what Nelson Mandela did.
Yeah, but we're not a theocratic state. You're going back to the Holy Book for your example.
Which of our politicians, which of them doesn't serve a God, whether it's the living God or the traditional one?
Yeah.
In fact, they use all this religion and everything to mobilize votes. And that is why I appreciate those who are speaking about the system. Can you imagine that in China, a minister will just corner billions of naira meant for poverty alleviation?
No, that's not going to happen.
Exactly.
Not in China.
Will it happen in Japan?
No,
let's say this. In the 1950s and 60s, the Asian tigers, talk about Hong Kong, Malaysia, and those nations, they were in the same classroom with Nigeria, with brilliant opportunities to excel. Sir, Africa has about 40% of the total resources in the world. And Africa is just about 1.5 billion in population.
But what are we doing with it?
Exactly.
We're going to have to leave it here. Our time has run out. But, as usual, these are questions. Fortunately, the proposal of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is going to be considered by the committee. I think it is the Deputy Senate President who is the chairman of that particular committee. He's going to consider it. They shall no doubt be having these kind of conversations. Then we look at whether that idea needs to be rested or, indeed, let's look at it and then they will do the necessaries in showing it to the rest of us and let us put our mouth. Because democracy at the end of the day must prevail. Thank you very much, Mr. Jide Ologun, lawyer and political affairs analyst. Really appreciate you as always.
Thank you
very much.